Hello, greetings from Ukraine. This is a second video, a second part of a video about a man who fought to join Ukrainian territory with Russia, who surrendered to Ukrainian forces. Update about us is called, and the other day we were shot at by intercontinental ballistic missile, but the range was like a mid-range, but this is one of the kind new missile that was targeting Ukraine, actually a highly populated city where many IDPs are running to from the east, from nearby cities that are being captured by Russians. So this is very, very bad news for us. So the man who surrendered to Ukrainian forces, as I told you before, his name is ГЕРМАN. He took a Ukrainian last name to look more Ukrainian, and he wanted Luhansk to join Russia, and he was forming military. He was serving in like commander of some military formation that was run by Russian officers. He deserted some time back. He was wanted by the Russian authorities. He was caught.
You just told me that you used weapons seized from the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Security Service of Ukraine.
Yes.
Where did you get the mortars from? Herman, you want to say that there were mortars in the Secret Service?
Well, I can't know that, since I wasn't there. I did say it was a civil war.
Well, you yourself called it a civil war. Only by law this is not a civil war. If you take the weapons that the Russian Federation issues to you, ammunition, mortars, and who gave it to you?
Not sure that it was distributed by the Russian Federation. And who gave it to you? The commanders brought it and asked who knew how to use it.
How many Ukrainian soldiers have you killed?
I cannot answer this question. I think you understand why. Because you communicated with many military personnel. And when there is shooting, how can you tell whether I killed or my comrade killed?
In fact, you wrote something else here. You published this message on June the 13th, 2014. After the mortar attack on the Lugansk airport. The result of the short battle was the destruction of a gun, a mortar crew, and enemy cargo vehicles, as well as 15 deceased and about 40 wounded.
Yes, I wrote.
So you knew.
It's a part of informational war, propaganda. How could I have known?
But you wrote this, so you got this information from somewhere.
I could have said more, could have said less.
So it's all a lie.
Well, maybe it wasn't a lie. Perhaps there were deceased and wounded, but informational war is a war also.
Is he also from Luhansk?
Well, he was a volunteer.
From what country?
From Russia.
From Russia. Your commanders were Russian. Not one brigade commander. All Russian officers at higher levels. Brigade headquarters, brigade commanders, and most of battalion commanders. You know it yourself. You said, civil war, but the commanders in this so-called war for some reason are Russians. It's incredible, huh? This contradiction doesn't surprise you at all, does it? That's how it should be.
You know, to be honest, I hadn't thought about this before. I deserted a military unit.
You deserted a brigade.
Yes.
So they started looking for you.
I was a civilian for a year and a half. In hiding, yes. In Lugansk.
Unbelievable. Hero of a Russian spring in Lugansk is hiding from Russian authorities in Lugansk 8-9 years later. This is a paradox, simply the apotheosis of the Russian world.
They found me at my house. People from brigade came and took me. They brought me to the investigative committee, opened a criminal case, and sent me here.
A criminal by Russian and Ukrainian laws. Incredible. Wanted by both, here and there.
And where I was detained, they took 10 people about every day. We didn't know. They told us that everything is okay. They said, guys, you will arrive. We'll assume the positions, we'll stay there in defense.
Those people who were taken, did anyone return?
No one.
No one. How did it happen? How you were sent into an assault? What did they do?
They brought us from Kamyshyva to the point, gave us weapons, told us that we need to advance and take the positions at night. They showed us the positions on the map. We've never been there. No one. They told us that drone will guide us. They said that there are our people everywhere. Everything is good. We only had to get there, that's all. Yes, so they gave us these mattresses, roll mats.
What did they do? They put roll mats on you?
Yes. It was like handmade disguise. Reduced thermal signature.
Это имеется в виду, чтобы снизить для чего маскировка?
Снизить тепловую сигнатуру.
Вот.
The commanders told you that you need to use it for protection from drones.
Да.
No one while laughing at that moment.
Well, we were just into tears.
But you, as an experienced fighter, didn't find it suspicious. They didn't even give you ammunition, right?
Of course, I was also confused by these mattresses.
Do you understand that it was a one-way ticket, yes?
Well, yes.
От наших крайних
From our outermost lines, it was about 5 kilometers. We had to walk in these mattresses, which were absolutely uncomfortable. We couldn't use our weapons in them because the weapons were on the belt. And the mattresses, well, how did they look? Imagine a roll mat. We roll it and sew it up. Take a second one and roll it. Sew both of them together. And we have a cylinder with an overhang over it, also made from a roll mat.
Потрясающе. Так,
Incredible. Okay, please tell me how you advanced into your positions. How many soldiers were in your group?
Lyosha, my childhood friend, he died.
А он тоже был?
He also deserted.
Yes,
Нас оставил дрон,
drone left us.
сказал,
He told us
посидите
to
в
sit
посадке.
and wait.
Сейчас
I will tell you what
я
to
вам
do
скажу,
next
что
soon, he
делать.
said.
Вот, сейчас
Now
я
I'll fly away,
лечу,
and then
там,
we'll
прилечу,
return. And he
вот,
was
и
gone.
улетел.
He said to wait in
В
the
посадке,
landing.
говорит,
I tell him on the
сидите, я ему
radio
говорю
that the
по рации,
landing
что
is
посадка
bald. We
лысая,
can be
нас
seen.
видно. Мы начали убегать от дронов.
We started to run away from drones. There were clouds of them. They were dropping many explosives. He couldn't understand what we should do. Told us, run there, run there. I say, we need a cover. We don't know nothing here. Where should we run? Stay there, sit underneath the trees. But there were no trees. Simply no trees. There was no cover and nowhere to hide. It was a bare field. People were laying around everywhere. The soldiers of 123 Brigade.
И жадный мне говорит, он
Jadny returned on a new drone. He tells me, why are you're rushing about? Hop into a trench.
He was a guy with humor. Watches you run around trying to escape and says, why are you rushing about? Indeed.
Вот я спустился в траншею.
I hid in the trench. Our people were not there. Only the dead.
How about the promises of Jadny to drop you water, supplies from a drone? Did he do this?
No.
Нет.
There was no connection, nothing.
Не было ни связи, не было ничего.
Belik and I are in Lugansk, Ukraine, on Maidan. We arrived to defend the RU, Ukrainian people. Or now the Russian people. In the center of Luhansk.
Какая у вас
This is such an
поучительная
instructive
судьба
fate, after all. Yes. You dropped the Ukrainian flag, raised the Russian one. And here the Russian commanders. Past 10 years. They took your childhood friend, who lived simple and quiet life, sent both of you into the bottle. And they abandoned you. Now you are a symbol of the Russian world. As you understand, you could have been liquidated on the spot. Yes. Because no one would know if you surrendered or not. Yes. And the Ukrainians, with whom you fought, and whom you did not want in Lugansk, saved your life, yes.
So you mutely, submissively set off on an assignment, took your childhood friend to die, and they're Ukrainians. After everything you've done, I will repeat myself again, saved you life. They certainly could have something else, but the fact is that they saved you, and Commander Zhadny didn't come to help you. Do you have any thoughts of apologizing? You know, not before everyone, but before your fellow Luhansk residents, who didn't agree with you, who wanted to stay in Ukraine. Would you like to apologize to them, or you think that you've done the correct thing? Well, again, everyone has his ideology, everyone has his path. Why in Luhansk, Donetsk it worked, yes, it was possible to create people's republics, but why it didn't work, for example, in Kharkiv, even though it also borders with Russia? Why in other oblasts not? Because people, most were for Russia. Maybe because the commander of your brigade, Denis Ivanov, along with thousands of other Russian servicemen, came to Ukraine, issued you Russian mortars, Russian tanks that you took photos with, mortar that you were firing from. And that's why other Ukrainian people didn't have freedom of speech, couldn't attend a demonstration. Maybe because you with your Russian friends on this video, you are looking at Ukrainian demonstration and say, here they are coming, bitch. These are your words, aren't they? We will be shooting them. And that's why perhaps not all people were ready, like you, act like a bandit. Did you not realize that? You invited Russian citizens to Ukraine, you personally, not other Lugansk residents. Your friend, who stays forever in the ground, yes, he didn't invite them. You were the one who summoned them, so you were thinking about it, planned a future, planned what will happen next, and afterward, you were fighting at war for 10 years. You were fighting at war for 10 years, so you were not a young guy. Romantic illusion was gone, I think, when you signed the second contract in 2019. You understood what war is. Voluntarily you fought for all this. And who died instead of you? Lyova, and thence 1,000 other people. All of this is because you also took part in this movement. I know very many people who were forced to leave their homes in Luhansk. I ask you a question. Would you like to apologize to people who were not going to kill no one? Invite some foreign citizens to overthrow the Ukrainian government. Would you like to apologize to them?
I would like to. I feel sorry. I feel sorry that somebody had to leave his home. That somebody's plans were disrupted. Some plans for life.
People lost. Tens of thousands of people lost their lives. For you it was a game 10 years. And then you see, when you didn't feel well at war, you simply ran away, and other people couldn't run. They are deceased on those fillets. They are forced now to have war with you. Here are people who came from different regions of Ukraine, including Donbas. They are fighting here, at these positions, far from their families, to stop you, because you are silently sent to meet assaults. Somebody must protect Ukraine from people like you, because after Luhansk, you will do the same in other cities.
Кто-то должен защищать Украину, таких как вы, потому что вы после Луганска и в других городах такое же сделаете. Сражаться за русский мир, вы же его сюда
Fight for the Russian world. You brought it here to the Luhansk region yourself. What did you bring it for? To run around and surrender to Ukrainians. You could have done it in 2014. And save us from grief. Why did you surrender? You should have gone till the end, like that time, at the administration building. I will wait.
who doesn't want to live
Вот, потому что я против смерти.
because I'm against dying
Причем с
on
любой
either
стороны.
side.
Потому что война,
Because the war,
она
it will
закончится.
end, and you cannot bring people back.
Если человек не
If a
хочет,
man
чтобы
doesn't
кто-то
want
умирал,
someone to die,
он не устраивает
he does not
такие
organize
государственные
political
перевороты,
coups,
не предает
doesn't
своих
betray his people,
товарищей и не идет на
and
войну
doesn't
в
join a
иностранную.
foreign army.
So let's do the vocab. You know Russia is Россия, 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 Россия. And empire is imperia, imperia. And is not is не є, не є. Росія не є імперія. Росія не є імперія. Thank you for watching this video. Please like it and subscribe to the channel.